Well, hello again, friends. I am Fist-25, and as you can see behind me, we're here to do another ship review. This one is coming in a little bit late, and that's just because I guess I'm behind a little bit this year on videos. But yeah, that is the brand new salvage ship, the MISC Fortune, behind me, and we're going to do a ship review here and do a light comparison to, I don't know if it's a sister or brother ship, but it's the Drake Vulture, which is essentially the same ship. They're both light salvage ships, but this one is a little different than the Prospector, but very Prospector-like. So let's check it out from the outside, take a tour of the inside. We'll go we'll compare the differences. We'll go salvaging and yeah, give you the lowdown on the MISC Fortune. Stay tuned. All right, so here is the MISC Fortune here. It's a interesting ship. I like it. I haven't actually flown it yet, so this is going to be a first-time experience for me. You can see that it does say Bad Dogs Medium Hangar. That is my alternate character. Obviously, Fist has a Drake Vulture, so there's no point in having a Fortune and a Vulture on the same account, at least in my opinion, after I started looking at it. But it does have a pretty cool look. You can see right up here, I'm not sure if those are the lights or what that is, but we will take a look at that. This right here is the Cinch salvage head, and it is the default head that comes with the Fortune. And the Vulture has one Cinch and one abrade. We're actually going to swap that out for an abrade here before I go salvaging, because the Cinch takes way too long for my taste. Coming around the starboard side, we can see right here we have a Bulldog 117 size 1 laser repeater. And we have the same thing on the other side. From what I understand, just like most MISC ships, it is completely symmetrical here. This is the default paint theme as well, the very metallic MISC look. It does have the Fortune branding on the side, which I like. I do like that. You can see the various maneuvering thrusters here on the bottom and on the side. Should have VTOL, just like what I'm assuming is VTOL, like a Prospector has. It does have a bubble cockpit canopy here, so you can be able to see lower and more around, instead of that very enclosed, slick, Cylon ship-looking way that most MISC ships are, that I just do not enjoy. I would enjoy the Starlancer a lot more if it had a actual glass in the cockpit. But moving on, we can see here on the port side, by the way, on the port side there is the entrance door up here, just like on the Prospector. We can see tricycle landing gear, 3 landing gear configuration. We can still hear other people's hangars, other people doing stuff. Awesome. We do have one of the cargo grids here on the outside. Now, the Fortune is supposed to have 16 SCU of cargo, and I believe some of that is out here. And from what I have seen and heard and read, I haven't experienced it yet. The boxes maybe come out of here, and then they deposit on this cargo grid, and that's where you carry the boxes on the exterior of the ship. Moving around towards the back, we see that here is our main engine here in its VTOL config. Obviously very cool. They will rotate to the back when you are ready to do that type of stuff. Moving to the back, standard kind of a MISC back. I think this is also another engine, in addition to the main engines. We do have an open guy here, which is very Guardian-like in the elevator back here, and I know doing this is very similar. Looks like we have just the close button here. It's very similar to the Guardian, and we'll be able to load things up. I don't know if this is actually a cargo grid or not. We're going to find out where those extra 4 SCU of cargo go. Moving over to the starboard side, we can see that one, we can kind of see through the ship. I don't know if that is meant to be glass or not. You see, we can see the rest of the hangar through that, and it's the other side of the outside cargo grid. As far as maneuvering around the bottom of the ship, I don't necessarily see any boxes or buttons that would give us access to components or anything like that. And I don't know if we can actually enter. Oh, right here. Enter ship. I'm going to hold F. So it's just enter ship and open ladder. I'm not going to. The storage is not there, is what I'm getting at. So we're going to enter through the back. We'll come around the back, little cargo deck here, and we will go ahead and close. There we go. We'll close the cargo area. Now, looking around the ship here, I don't see, this is just a maintenance action. No, nothing important there. I am curious if that is a cargo grid, though. Looks like we have a component access for shields in the rear. You know, I didn't check and see. This ship does not have missiles, so I am not sure what that thing is, but it does look like a missile. Anyway, here is at least two of the three shields. This thing has 3 Bulwark industrial grade Cs, so I'm not sure where the other shields is. Back here is the cooler. It should be a single size 2 trommel cooler. It looks like that is what we indeed have. Now that button, that opens that door, and that button, I don't know why we need redundant, whoa, oh, that opens the elevator. Okay. Like, why do we need redundant buttons here? Well, found the elevator button right there. Okay. Moving into the fuselage of the ship, definitely we can stack stuff back here for salvage. I've heard, like, you can put almost the same amount as you can a Vulture, which should be 30 something. So it just says salvage back here, some kind of a screen. Oh, this is our actual screen for our salvage stuff. Okay, we're gonna have to actually use the ship to get it going. I don't know where it necessarily makes the salvage. I guess there's 2 different buffers in here. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's all one buffer. There's 13 SCU up there. 13 SCU right there. So that means the buffer can hold 13. Probably somewhere down in there, it's going to do all the magic to make the salvage happen and poop out boxes to the front. I didn't see where our power plant was as far as components go. So I'm not sure where that's located. Maybe it's up front. If you guys know and I don't find it later, please mention it in the comments. I just missed it, or if it's up top, or what. Moving on further in the fuselage, just like Prospector, we do have our bed. Oh, look, there's our 3rd shield compartment. Very odd place to put a shield. We have our computer compartment. Of course, it's empty, nothing in there. We do have a standard bed here and storage on the bottom. It's like we have 900,000 micro SCU. Radar and life support. Oh, there's our jump drive. Still not seeing our power plant, but okay. Gravity generator and our jump drive. I like the animation of those coming out. Life support and radar. I just like the way those open. It says maintenance on here. There's nothing interactable with this, so it's kind of just art. A deploy ship weapon rack. That's kind of cool. We can put little pistols on there. Oh, that's pretty neat. Let me see. I'll pull a pistol on there and place. Nice. No rifle rack, but does have at least a pistol rack. How much do you need when you're salvaging, right? Moving on, we have a water dispenser, some kind of an access point. Is this? Oh, that's our fuse, an open fuse access next to the inoperable engineering terminal. We have our normal side exit door, and what I'm assuming here is the restroom. Does it open? Yes, it does open. It looks like we have a toilet, some kind of a shoilet in here. That's the toilet doesn't seem to move, so I guess we get to stand on top of that and take a shower. And then the cockpit area, very, very prospector. Like, I still didn't see the power plant in here. But let's go ahead and enter the pilot seat. And there we go. So, start the ship up. I do like the holographic display here. With the radar tilted, by the way. Thank you, CIG, for tilting that. There's nothing worse than that flat radar that you can't read. And 4 holographic MFDs. The default here, scanning, target, power management, and self-status are all really good options, even though self-status doesn't really show much. Looks like I don't really have a picture there. Anyway, looking around, lots of room in this glass here. I'm looking for other buttons and things in the cockpit. Maybe they are up here. Power, engine. VTOL doesn't have a button. Self-destruct doesn't do anything. Open exterior. We'll go ahead and click that. Our door and ladder opened, as well as the rear. What is that? That's probably the internal cargo storage or something similar to that. I've seen that on other ships, so I don't know how to actually access that. Yeah, it looks like that is actually about it. I don't see anything on the top as far as components are concerned. Oops, let's go back and we will go ahead and close the exterior. And that looks like all the buttons here in the cockpit for the MISC Fortune. I'll go ahead and hit K, rotate my VTOL down. Really good takeoff, really nice and even. When I rotate my landing gear, nice smooth animation going up and down. And rotate my VTOL, and there we go. Let's see if those are indeed lights. Oh, lights are on the top of the Fortune. They're not, I don't know what those things are. I don't really see a tractor beam. I know this thing is supposed to have one. Does it just swap out with the salvage head here? I'm not sure. We can shoot our guns. Not much to look at there. Let me go into scanning mode, or actually mining mode. We can see the arm extends. Maybe those things are the tractor beam. The arm extends to actually salvage things. And that's pretty cool. I like how the arm will articulate like that. Let's swap our module here. Oh, I didn't mean to turn it off. Or go forward. I gotta remember how to do all this stuff left on. Okay, so I right clicked, switch over to the tractor beam. And it looks like it's just coming out of this head. So it's kind of a 2-in-1 tractor beam and salvage head, I guess. Switching back over to salvage. Doesn't actually do anything. And I don't think it'll salvage anything until there's something in the target to actually salvage. So, with that, I'm gonna land this guy. I'm gonna switch out that head for an abrade, and then we'll get going and we'll see what it's like flying the ship out in space. Stay tuned. All right. Well, it may be hard to tell, but that is the abrade scraper head, scraper head, scraper. I think it's scraper. That's the abrade module on there and not the cinch. So we're going to go ahead and enter the ship through the ladder. This used to be a sore spot with the prospector because Yeah, it used to be get unalived over there. Okay. And of course the whole drifting. Ooh. I don't love the lights at the very top up there. That's a lot of light coming back. I'd like it if it was not as bright right there. Anyway, I guess let's take off. Gonna rotate those engines down. Pull my gear up. I don't know if it's daytime or nighttime out here at ArcCorp. Looks like daytime. There we go. Nice, easy liftoff. Swap our engines around and we will head out. Here's an afterburner look in atmosphere. Honestly, not that impressive. I do not like these lights up here by the holographic display. Not a fan of those. Let's see. I need to. Of course, I gotta do this every time. Or change our configuration around so we can actually see things. I wish CIG would enable this to just stay with how we have it. But give us our advanced HUD. Looks like 141 SCM speed in atmosphere. Let's see if our boost can actually max out in ArcCorp's atmosphere before we run out. Doesn't look like it. We're only at a 25% raise or up. Yep, we hit about almost 250. All right, well, we'll just keep on going, heading up into space, and I'll catch you when we're up into space, and we'll see how fast this ship is once we get up there. So stand by. All right, so we are back up here in space, and other than the self status not showing really the ship itself, which is not great. Maybe that's just a bug for me, I'm not sure, but looks like our SCM speed is indeed like 143. Go ahead and give it some boost while we're in SCM mode. Reach our max speed. SCM looks like probably 349, 350, something like that. Going up here to power management, this is the default management, 5 out of 19 left over. Our coolers are full, everything else is full. Looks like we do have one more spot for shields, and it gives us at least 2 more for boost, which is important when we're salvaging. Maybe not. Yep, so we can do... we're not really going to use this for combat, so we don't really need to worry about guns, but keep it at 1, giving us 62 shots. But max boost and pretty good on shields. If we need to get more shields, we can. There we go. Let's switch over into nav mode. Let's see what we're going to get to as far as our maximum navigational speed. I'll go ahead and give it some boost so we can reach that a little faster. Okay, it looks like our max nav speed 974 is our max nav speed. Yeah, cruising along really nicely. Okay, it's a little bit loud, so I'm gonna switch over into SCM mode. Here is the ship just kind of flying along above ArcCorp from the outside. Looks really nice. I like the way the engines are situated. It looks better than the Prospector to me, to be quite honest with you. I like it. I like the design. I like that it has 2 entrances and exits with the elevator in the back. Okay, so at this point in time, I want to talk about some of the key differences between the MISC Fortune and the Drake Vulture. So one of those differences is that the Fortune has just one salvage head with a scraper module and a tractor beam that is interchangeable, and the Vulture has 2. That could make a big difference in how long it takes to salvage a piece of gear. It should make a difference. But both of them are size 1 modules and size 2 scraper heads. The Fortune has a single size 2 power plant and cooler, where the Vulture has 2 size 1 power plants and coolers. The Fortune is slower than the Vulture in SCM and max nav speed, and it is actually less maneuverable than the Vulture. The Vulture is faster and more maneuverable. The Fortune has 16 official cargo grid locations, where the Vulture just has 12. The Fortune has 21 SCU of hydrogen and 1.8 SCU of quantum fuel, where the Vulture has 36 SCU of hydrogen, where the Fortune had 21. But it only has 1.1 SCU of quantum fuel, where the Fortune has 1.8. The Fortune has way more hit points, 59,500, and the Vulture clocks in lower at 35,700. They have the same stock weapons, shields, and quantum drives, and actually the cost is the same at $160 Warbond or $175. So very, very similar ships, but differences, right? Vulture is faster, more maneuverable. The Fortune's a little bit tankier. It can go further with quantum, but the Vulture is better. It has more hydrogen range. The Fortune is just a tiny bit bigger overall in ship size, and it has more cargo grid locations, and it's a little more automated in the way it stores its cargo salvage, and it should be easier to offload the salvage when you're in your hangar versus the Vulture. But let's go check that out. Let's go get some salvage done, and stay tuned for that section coming up next. All right, folks, so here we are finally, and I discovered some salvage way out from Arkel 2. And we're going to go ahead and salvage some of these panels and see how... Oh, I didn't mean to shoot it, of course. And now it's moving. Let me go ahead and tractor this thing to get it steady. There we go. Get steady. I like to move my ship versus a lot of tractoring. You can see we're just going along. This ship will also fracture, but construction materials don't get you a whole lot right now as far as money goes, and I feel like I can buy whatever I need. Like as far as a multi-tool is concerned, might help if you need a fuse, but that type of gameplay's not really in at the moment. I can tell you right now, just having this one scraper head, it definitely feels slower than using the Vulture, and that's a big negative for me. I mean, who cares? It's my alt. But still, if you paid, $160, $175 for this, I guess I would want it maybe to have something special when it comes to maybe a bigger salvage head, since it only has one and it costs the same price as a Vulture. But here we go. You can see I already have some SCU in here. I do like the abrade head because while it's less efficient than the cinch head, it's kind of in the middle between the trawler, the cinch, and the abrade. Of course it is in cost and size and all that. It's kind of the sweet spot for me. I grab enough material and move fast enough on a panel that I don't get too bored, even though salvaging is super boring gameplay. Unless someone shows up and you gotta fight, but I think you're just running for your life with the ship. Let me get 2 SCU and then we'll exit the ship and we'll go to the back and move the stuff out. Move the box out. There we go. So we got 2 SCU in there. Now let me get 2.1 to make sure we have a full 2. There we go. Okay. So we're gonna head towards the back of the ship where the salvage area is, where that magic salvage happens. And I don't see anything on here right now. But I think at least the first time you have to come back here and tell it to eject. I think you have to tell it to auto eject. I don't know if it's going out to the left or to the right, but it does say preparing to eject. It sounds like it did. Is that a box? No, that's the ship. Let's go out and check. And there we go. Well, out here, yeah, there's 2 boxes out here. Where they came from, I'm not quite sure, but I did have 2 full SU. There shouldn't be anything on the other side, which there is not. And so it did eject those boxes. So now the auto eject is on. Let me scrape up to 1 more SCU and see how that goes. Okay. I kind of have the camera set up to capture the ejection. I don't know if it's just wonky or what. But you can see our depot here, we only have 0.1 SCU in there, which is just fine. We got rid of the 2 SCU that were in there. I am quite surprised that it's the same price. I would think if CIG really wanted to sell this ship and get some new money, that they would have made it maybe $5 more expensive than the Vulture. Even though they're the same ship, and the ship has kind of different mechanics. I could see MISC costing more than a Drake ship. That type of justification. I still think it's too expensive for a ship, to be quite honest, but if you got the money, then maybe it's worth it. Alright, so we're looking to get real close to 1 SCU, or at 1 SCU. Let me just stick this mining head in the middle. Alright, let's... Okay, we saw that thing move out, and the box just moved over. We'll do 1 more if we can. That was actually pretty cool. I don't think we're going to see anything from the inside of the ship when that happens, but the outside of the ship we will. This is very chill gameplay. When a wipe happens, my whole org, B team, link in the Discord below if you're interested in joining, we will just go out on these massive salvage runs. Sometimes we hire protection depending on if we go to pyro or not, and usually it's an org member that's helping, and we split profits. But we will salvage just to earn that initial pot of money so that we can go and do other, sometimes more interesting things. Okay, we're getting close. should get it here. There we go. Swapping out to the exterior view, you see that little door opens. The box gets pooped out. So there we go. That's how that works. So I'm going to finish salvaging. I will throw you guys on super fast motion, and we may stop just to look at some of the other boxes coming up. And then what do we do when this thing fills up? Do we bring things inside? How much do we fit inside? Considering we can exit the ship through the outside hatch instead of having to go down on the elevator. So let me go into fast forward mode, and we'll go from there. Stay with me. All right, so I did just get a message that said filler station blocked. And that's probably because I only enabled the port side to auto eject, right? Please clear the conveyor belt, blah, blah, blah. There is one over here on the starboard side, which I did not hit auto eject. So it does make me wonder if that is then going to eject. Continue ejecting. Maybe I disable auto eject. Then I disable this auto eject. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure what to do here. Because I don't know what's actually blocked. Let me try to resolve this problem. Make sure to do that animation. And I'll go ahead and take one of these boxes off of here. Not sure I love that he's doing that with just one hand now, too. And I'll put that box right there. Actually, let me move it. There we go. And it makes me wonder if the other side is then going to eject when I tell it to. Continue ejecting. Troubleshooting with the MISC Fortune and EVA acting weird. Oh, make sure to get the animation. Okay. Now let's hit continue ejecting. Ah, preparing to eject. That is definitely on auto eject as well. Okay, looks like those cleared up. I guess we'll see if we continue to salvage and continue to eject. What actually happens? Let me go to yeah, it's full up on the port side. Starboard side has the one box that I have it on. All right, continue to salvage. Just to see what happens. I guess my own internal testing process. And we're going to see if we have a cargo grid on the back, which I think we do. Is this the actual cargo grid? Come on. Come on. Yeah, it is a cargo grid. With gravity. So we should have 4 SCU over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. One that covers up the elevator perfectly. That's not going to be fun to move up and in and out. So we'll see what happens here. Because that filler station is going to get blocked. We'll see if when I get one more SCU, if it then does eject out the right side, maybe, hopefully, I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, so I've now hit the buffer limit of 13 SCU, and it never finished putting all that stuff out to the other side here. And I'm not sure why, because now I can hit eject on the starboard side, and it's going to eject. This side says full. So is it now going to fill up? I had auto check turned on. Auto eject. Should get this guy top right filled up. Preparing to eject, filling box. That side's still full. It's weird how this got set up like this. It's very odd. Now they're both maxed out. Okay. So, also don't like how that door doesn't stay. Just stay open, door. I don't need an animation to get out. Now, everything should be full. And I need to figure out how much I can stack in the back. Maybe this will actually auto eject now that I'm pulling stuff off like it's supposed to. Just a very weird scenario there. And then I'll have to come back in the ship, I guess, to... I don't see it auto ejecting, which is very odd. Okay, but I got all 4 latched in there. And then move it around the interior. Okay. I need to tell this other side to continue to eject. Sorry, I'm much preferring the Vulture at this point. Okay, so close. So yeah, it wouldn't go in there anyway. So I can put some stuff over there. There's probably some pattern here that I don't know. I'm not following correctly. I know I don't necessarily want to fill up this whole area back here. Well, of course, that happened. And I'm not even sure if I could. I'm sure if I tried hard enough, I could get this guy just through. Maybe not. I guess we're stacking two to the side here in the back. And stack this guy back here. I'm not sure where that guy was going to go to begin with. I can move you over, move you over. I'm not sure if I can stack something on top. Nope, I sure can't. So I think the quantity is certainly going to be limited here. Why do I have to keep hitting continue eject? Okay, looks like it's maxed out. I can pull at least 2 more off. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these 2 off. Stick it in the cargo area. And then fill up the rest of the buffer and then head back. If I decide I want to EVA correctly. And then I guess I'll meet you guys back at the station. And we will offload this cargo. And we will go from there. So, thanks for watching so far. We're almost done. And we'll see you in just a few minutes. A few minutes for me, but seconds for you. All right, here we are landed at Area 18, and we have a full ship of RMC. I do think I could have gotten 1 more box right here in the middle, but it's just kind of done, so I spaced that out. Do have a full buffer and full load on the side, so I have 16, 17, 18 units of RMC. Plus 13 more in the buffer. And I think I could have gotten, like I said, I think I could have gotten 1 more right there. Not sure if I could have stacked that. Kind of wish I did now. So anyway, let's do a fast forward as I grab all of this RMC and throw it into my freight elevator. And I'm curious to see how fast it is and how the auto eject is. If I'm going to have to do it manually, or if, you know, just how that's going to work, because there is only 12 spots on the side of the ship, and then there's 13 in the buffer. So that's wasn't the greatest maybe math calculation by CIG, because we won't be able to auto eject everything. And I'm not sure what the deal was with the auto eject kind of not working earlier. I just don't know. But regardless of that, let's get this going. We'll do it in fast forward, and I'll see you in just a sec when I get everything onto the freight elevator. Okay, so here we go. Whew. There it all is. boxes, all the RMC. $33 RMC. Which is kind of, I guess I want to say it's more than I expected, but at the same time, I didn't particularly love that experience. Sorry, I like to make sure it's all in there. 33 boxes of RMC, and we will go ahead and store the ship, and hopefully it stores. So, as I'm running over to the shuttle, make sure I can go sell this. I think I probably could have gotten 34, possibly 35 RMCs in there. I think on the Vulture I could get 37, 38. Some people 39 RMC in there. Oh, great. It's a good looking elevator. There we go. I guess the question is it worth it? Does that make sense? Is it worth the same price as the Vulture? And I'm not sure I agree on that. It's a cool ship. It's an interesting ship. But it's overall it's slower in getting its salvage. And I mean, by having one less head, that's pretty significant. It's slower in moving around, because let's be honest, we're not taking our salvage ships into combat. Oh, I still have my head thing on. We're not taking the salvage ships into combat, so what is the point? Maybe I can, if I put my helmet back on. I like how the box is on there. Oh, still there. Okay. Is that my bus? That's my bus. So, okay, it's got bigger components, so power-wise it's better, but who cares? It's a salvage ship. So I'm not sure that really matters, right? Overall, I think it's a worse ship than the Vulture. The Vulture has kind of what you need. It has the right speed. It has the technically three salvage heads, even though there's really two that are active. It has tractor beam. It's like the speed actually makes quite a bit of difference when you're trying to get to and from what you're doing. The Vulture will hold more salvage overall, even though it's a little bit slower to get the salvage off of the Vulture. That's, I don't know, when you look at how much RMC goes for, I think it's worth the extra, 20 to 30 to maybe 40,000, 45,000 credits to spend an extra few minutes getting the salvage off. And the fact that they're both $175, 160 war bond. Well, I think the Fortune should be 150, maybe 140, because while it does have more survivability, it certainly is not as good as the Vulture. Now maybe this is where the Vulture gets a price increase, or maybe the Fortune gets a CIG infamous post-sale nerf. I don't know. I just don't know. I wish I had some more insight into it. But I'd rather, if I had to give the Vulture a rating, I'd say it's probably an 8 out of 10 for light salvage, and I'd give the Fortune like a 5 out of 10, maybe 5.5 out of 10. So let's go see how much money I'm going to make in ArcCorp here. I think ArcCorp actually has it's lower than Orison. for pricing, not by much, but I think it is lower than Orison for how much money you get per box of RMC, or it was from the last patch. But we should be able to tell here very shortly. It seemed to take about the same amount of time as a Vulture, so just to let you know, the actual salvage was legitimately slower. Okay. 18, 33 SCU, 280,500 credits. All in all, not a bad haul, right? I mean, that's significantly more money than my alt usually has in this account. So I guess since I can't get rid of, well, let's try this. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Put your helmet on, Phil. There we go. Let's try taking the helmet off this way. Hey, my mullet came back. All right, so thank you all for watching. Overall, it's a fine ship. If you prefer MISC and having that one salvage head, having a little bit more survivability, cool. A little more quantum travel ability. But it's hard for me to talk with all these people talking. I would prefer the Drake Vulture for salvage every time. And I'm probably going to CCU this. Thanks for walking next to me. I'm probably going to CCU this ship on my alt. What we really want, CIG, if you're listening, is a medium-sized salvage ship. Medium-sized. The Reclaimer is wonky because it's too big. Requires more than one person to be any type of efficient. And Vulture and the MISC Fortune are a little bit too small. They're fine at what they do, but for the love of God, give me a medium-sized salvage ship. That's all I got. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoy the review. I'm not going to bring a Burkle or anything like that. The only thing I would recommend upgrading as far as components go on this ship is going to be the quantum drive. Probably get rid of that industrial drive and go with an Atlas, like civilian grade A. It'll help with the cooldown times, even though it's a little bit slower. And oh, she looked at me funny. Anyway, I guess I'm standing in the middle of the hallway. Fist-25 from Fist-25 Save the Universe. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video. Smash that notification bell if you want to be updated every time we have a video come out. And we're going to keep going on this component series that's coming up. God. Oh, two people in my way. Yeah, we're going to have more component series stuff, especially on mining heads and salvage heads. So look for those, as well as other components as well. And we'll see you next time. Good night, Sam.